Welcome friends. In this session we are going to discuss frequency shift keying. In FSK, the frequency of the carrier signal is shifted between two discrete values of frequency. One of these frequency f1 represents symbol 1 and other frequency value f2 represents symbol 0. Also, these discrete frequencies f1 and f2 must be an integral multiple of 1 upon Tb, that is bit rate, so that frequency f1 becomes n1 upon Tb and f2 is equals to n2 upon Tb, where n1 and n2 are some integers. Generally, the carrier frequency is far greater than f1 or f2 with very small difference between them. So accordingly, the FSK wave is represented by two sinusoidal signals S1 function t and S2 function t, where S1 function t equals to under root of 2 EB upon TB cos 2 pi f1t, that is for symbol 1, and function S2 t equals to under root of 2 EB upon TB cos 2 pi f2t, that is for symbol 0. These signals S1 and S2 are time limited between 0 to Tb, that is bit duration or symbol duration, where EB is called transmitted signal energy per bit. Now, to understand frequency shift keying, we consider signals S1t and S2t as orthogonal signal. And according to the property, integration of S1t S2t dt with the limit 0 to Tb is equals to 0 when both signals are different, and when both signals are same, then the value of integration is equals to bit energy, and when we consider a unit energy, then the result of integration is 1. So the FSK signal can also be expressed in terms of basis function, that is called orthonormal basis function, and it is denoted by phi1 function t for symbol 1 and phi2 function t for symbol 0. This orthonormal basis function is expressed as under root of 2 upon Tb cos 2 pi f1t, that is phi1t, and under root of 2 upon Tb cos 2 pi f2t, that is phi2t, and both are time limited between 0 to Tb. And outside this interval, the value of phi1 and phi2 is 0. So the FSK signal in terms of orthonormal basis function phi1t and phi2t is expressed simply as S1t equals to under root of EB phi1t for symbol 1 and S2t equals to under root of EB phi2t for symbol 0. Which means that when we consider orthonormal basis function phi1t, FSK signal S1t is represented by a sinusoidal signal of frequency f1, and which is equals to n1 upon Tb, and this corresponds to symbol 1. And in case of symbol 0, we consider no signal. Similarly, in case of orthonormal function phi2, the FSK signal S2t is represented by another sinusoidal signal of frequency f2, that is equals to n2 upon Tb, and it shows symbol 0. And there is no signal for symbol 1. And in the simplified form, FSK wave is equal to S1t equals to under root of EB phi1t for symbol 1 with no signal for symbol 0. Also, S2t equals to under root of EB phi2t for symbol 0 and no signal for symbol 1. And because of orthonormal nature of basis function, the power spectral density of FSK is simply represented by superposition of power spectral density of two signals, that is S1 and S2t, that is shown in figure. Here, the solid line represents the power spectral density of signal S1t with an impulse function shifted to frequency f1, and another one is the power spectral density of signal S2t, that is correspond to frequency f2 with shifted impulse function. Here, both frequencies f1 and f2 are deviated with respect to carrier frequency, and this carrier frequency is in the middle of the difference between F2 and F1. Here, in power spectral density of FSK, there is a problem of infinite bandwidths. But when we use an ideal bandpass filter that is centered at carrier frequency, we can determine the transmission bandwidth. For this, we consider main loop having a width of 2 upon Tb, which is similar to ASK. But in frequency shift keying, there is a superposition of two spectrum. So the maximum transmission bandwidth of FSK becomes 4 upon Tb, that is twice of 2 upon Tb, or in terms of bit rate it is equals to 4 times of S. Also, the difference between two frequencies, that is F2 minus F1, is equals to 2 upon Tb or 2S. Here the carrier frequency is situated at the middle of this difference, that is F2 minus F1, such that F2 and F1 are deviated with respect to carrier frequency and make an orthonormal system. But practically the bandwidth of FSK is restricted or reduced because of using bandpass filter and some modulation process. So after modulation and filtration using bandpass filter that is centered at carrier frequency, the two main loops corresponding to frequency F1 and F2 is only allowed to pass, while the side loops are filtered out, and accordingly the restricted bandwidth of the main loops is given in terms of filter factor, that is small d, and the restricted bandwidth of main loop is given by 1 plus d into S, where the value of d lies between 0 and 1. Now, since the difference F2 minus F1 is equals to twice of the bit rate, and the restricted bandwidth of FSK is equals to 1 plus d into S plus 2S. Also, for our convenience, we can write frequency difference F2 minus F1 as twice of delta F, where delta F is frequency deviation with respect to carrier frequency, and the modified bandwidth of FSK is equals to 1 plus d into S plus 2 delta F. And for proper operation of frequency shift keying, modulation and demodulation, this frequency difference twice of delta F must be greater than 1 plus d into S. And when the value of d is equals to 1, we get maximum bandwidth of 4S or 2S plus 2 delta F. And when we put d equals to 0, we get minimum bandwidth of 3S or S plus 2 delta F. And in order to understand the concept of bandwidth, consider an example. Here we have an available bandwidth of 100 kHz with a span from 200 to 300 kHz, and we have to determine the carrier frequency and bit rate. If we modulate digital data using FSK technique having filter factor d equals to 1. To solve this example, we consider a band limited amplitude spectrum of FSK having two main loops at F1 and F2 respectively, and having a center carrier frequency. And as per example, the available bandwidth is 100 kHz, having lower frequency 200 Hz and upper frequency 300 kHz. So first we calculate the carrier frequency, that is at the middle of F1 and F2. So the carrier frequency Fc is equals to 200 plus 100 upon 2, and it is 250 kHz. And for d equals to 1, the maximum bandwidth is equals to 4 times of bit rate, and it is 100 kHz, that is given in example. And from here we can easily determine the bit rate, that is 100 upon 4 kilobit per second or 25 kilobits per second. Next, we are going to discuss signal constellation diagram or signal space diagram of frequency shift keying. Since the binary FSK is based on two orthonormal basis function phi1t and phi2t, mutually perpendicular to each other, and its expression is S1t equals to under root of EB phi1t for symbol 1 and S2t equals to under root of EB phi2t for symbol 0. Therefore, the binary frequency shift keying system is characterized by two message points in two-dimensional signal space and are represented by space vector S1 and S2 with respect to symbol 1 and symbol 0 respectively. So first we consider case 1. Here signal S1t correspond to symbol 1 and it is denoted by S11 and it is equals to integration of S1t into phi1t into dt having limit 0 to tb. Now in place of S1t we can write under root of 2 EB upon TB cos 2 pi F1t, and in place of phi1t we can write under root of 2 upon TB cos 2 pi F1t into dt. Now from S1t we can separate under root of EB, and within the integration we have two functions, that is same function, and according to orthogonal property the value of integration is 1. So the value of S11 is equals to under root of EB, and this under root of EB is called amplitude level corresponding to symbol 1. But for S12, that is equals to integration of S1t phi2t dt, the result is 0, which means there is no signal because here the function S1 and phi2 are orthogonal and its result is 0. So the FSK signal S1t is represented by signal vector S1 having coordinates S11 equals to under root of EB and S12 equals to 0. And this represents a symbol 1 having encoded level under root of EB. While in second case, we consider FSK signal S2t. Here the binary coordinates are S21 and S22. For S21, the expression is integration of S2t phi1t into dt, and its value is 0 because S2t and phi1t are orthogonal, having different frequencies. So S21 equals to 0 and it represents no signal and it corresponds to symbol 1. While for symbol coordinate S22, that is equals to integration of S2t phi2t dt, the result is under root of EB and it represents a sinusoidal signal of frequency F2 equals to N2 upon TB. This coordinate S22 represents signal vector S2 having coordinate values 0, under root of EB, and this represents symbol 0. Now we can write it in summarized form. For symbol 1, message point S1 function phi1 phi2 having coordinates under root of EB, 0, and for symbol 0, message point S2 function phi1 phi2 having coordinates 0, under root of EB. These symbol coordinates of FSK are represented on signal constellation diagram with phi1 and phi2 as two orthonormal basis function. Here symbol 1 corresponding to point S1 having coordinate under root of EB, 0 and represent a space vector S1 with respect to origin, while symbol 0 corresponding to point S2 having coordinates 0, under root EB and represents space vector S2 with respect to origin. And on this signal space diagram we have some observations. First point is the distance between these two message points, and the distance between S1 and S2 is equals to under root of twice of EB. Secondly, there is a decision boundary, especially a straight line passing through the origin and denoted by a dotted line. This decision boundary separates the entire plane into two decision regions. Region Z1 corresponding to symbol 1 and shown by the shaded region, and region Z2 for symbol 0 represented by dotted arrow. And third one is the important observation on constellation diagram, and it is threshold value. As the decision boundary passes through the origin, then in case of frequency shift keying, the threshold value is 0. This threshold value equals to 0 is used at the receiver side on decision making device. Also, the decision boundary makes an angle of pi by 4 with respect to phi 1 or phi 2.